We're with Italo-Palestinian journalist, writer, and foreign policy analyst Rula Jebreal. Welcome to Turkey.
Thank you.
Nice to have you in Istanbul.
Thank you.
Okay, you born in Haifa, grew up in Jerusalem, and when people used to think about the Middle East, the first thing was the crisis between Palestine and Israel. But right now, when you look at the Middle East, where we see the tragedy in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Libya. So, is any solution possible in Middle East without resolving Palestinian-Israeli crisis?
I think that was a question that people keep asking themselves about. I really believe that there's no way you can have any kind of stability in this region without solving all the conflicts that are there forever. The Palestinian conflict is one of them. But now we are seeing the main conflict in the whole region is a conflict between the people who wants to be part of a democratic system where they are treated as equal, where they want human rights, minority rights, women rights, and basically they want their voice to be heard. They want to choose their representative. They want a democratic system. So the whole Arab Spring is basically the premise of the first Intifada. What was the first Intifada about? I was 16 years old when it started. The whole Intifada was, we want dignity, we want social justice, and we want freedom because we are born free. So basically it's the continuation of the Intifada. The Intifada that started in '86 is alive and kicking in the streets of Beirut, Damascus, Sana'a, and elsewhere in the region, and in Baghdad. And it will never go away. It can be pushed down, but it will come back.
Why don't we talk about Palestinian crisis anymore?
Because basically world powers decided it's a done issue. And I think the government in Israel were very effective in lobbying, and they decided they don't want to take the whole land. But they want the land, they don't want the people. So now, after 9/11, the whole issue of the Palestinian issue became basically an Islamic issue. Muslims and the West see Islam as a problem, not radicals, but Muslim in the whole Muslim world. And basically what we've been seeing, this struggle and push back against any idea that some people deserve equality, freedom, and dignity. And the whole election of President Trump in America is actually pushed back against that idea, not only for Palestinians, but even for African Americans, for Latino Americans, for any diversity. They view diversity as a threat. That's why you don't hear about the Palestinian issues.
Okay, I understand. So let's talk about women in Middle East,
yes.
Especially Syrian women in refugee camps. So almost half of them are kids, especially in Turkey. So how can we save their future?
Look, I visited the camps both in Turkey, in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Greece, in Italy, in the south. And it's heartbreaking to see that there's no real investment except rare cases in education. I think your country is doing an exceptional work when it comes to that, especially Gaziantep and that region. But they need help. I mean, they cannot do it alone. It's a huge issue, and it's a permanent issue. It's not. If somebody thinks that in 2 years the whole solution will be like Syria will be stable and they will go back, they're delusional. And we as Palestinians know that very well. It's been 70 years we've been displaced. But the fact that 50% and even more of them are children, that's a future you need to think about. These people, kids who are 10 today, in 10 years will be 20. Who do you think they will blame? Who do you think they will go after? Who will exploit them and use them? The radicals who will use them and abuse them, and they will be part of that army. But we can preventively intervene there through education, open schools. So if you don't have to think it's a government issue. If you are a businessman or businesswoman or have certain activities and you want to give in charity, invest in education. My favorite French intellectual used to say, Victor Hugo, when you open a school, you close a jail. He's right. Investing in education is the best future I can give. I wouldn't be the woman I am today without an education, without a high education, school, university, and mentors who helped me be the woman I am today.
Okay. In Turkey, the main question is, do the government, do the state have to teach Turkish for the refugees, or let's teach them Arabic? So,
dual language. Listen,
Okay.
I grew up learning both my language and Hebrew. Today I speak Arabic, Hebrew, Italian, and English. Why it has to be binary? Teach. I mean, my daughter Mira speaks Spanish. She doesn't speak Arabic, which is my failure. I regret that. Italian and English. Why do we need to choose one or another? Teach them both. Create a bilingual system so it's not difficult to them. And basically teach Turks English and French and other languages. Look, I'm a proponent of teaching languages, so you're opening a door.